Hey, what's up, guys? Back with another stream. Today we're back in FS Economy. Thanks for tuning in. Appreciate it. We're going to do a triangle flight tonight, about 360 nautical miles in North and South Carolina. Should be kind of fun to do. We're in the Oculus Rift, as usual, in the Carenado Beechcraft B1900D. And going to get just show you the briefing here, what we're going to do. And again, it should be fun. So let's get right to it. So let me show you the trip. All right, so basically what we're doing is we're going from Charlotte to Maxon, KMEB. Then we're going to head to Walterboro, KRBW, and then back to Charlotte. And you can see we have the GPS vectors all set up there. And so as far as FS Economy goes, we have 21 assignments that we're going to be taking on this trip, a total of 25,000. So probably net about 19, maybe 20 if we're lucky. Should be pretty cool. And again, we've got 356 nautical mile trip, so going to take a little bit. First leg's pretty quick. Second leg is a little bit longer. Second leg's 117, and then another one. Next one's 127. So should be fun. All right. So let's see. I've got 300. I have 300 in gas already. Well, that's plenty to get to the first stop, which is 79 miles, and then we'll see how we're doing on gas once we get there. And if you take a look at the upper left-hand corner here, I've already entered my route into Flight Plan Go, so we could follow that on the chart in the upper right here. And as far as my binders, I've got Charlotte, diagram for Charlotte, so we could take a look at that. There's Charlotte, and there we are. We're on 30. What are we on? 36 left, I think. And we'll go to binders here. Next is going to be Maxon, Laurenburg Maxon. I think we're landing on 2-3. And let's see, the next one would be Low Country Regional at Walterboro, and there we're going to be landing on 2-3 as well. So that's pretty much what it's going to be all about, and we'll follow along here as we go. So let's get to it. Happy to answer any questions about VR that you guys might have. Again, we're at Oculus Rift in the in VR. So let me show you the GPS. I already have my flight plan loaded. What I do is I create this on SkyVector, and I save it to an FPL file, and then I have a little script that converts from FPL to FMS, and then it loads it right in here rather than have to go through and scroll everything. It just makes it a lot easier to do it that way. So these are all our vectors, match up exactly with what we're going to be doing on the map. You can look at the map on the left there. Pretty exactly the same thing. So that's what we're doing. Cool. And we're not flying with real weather. We're flying with pristine weather, if you will. And yeah, so here we go. All right, so we're going to climb into VR here. Make sure we're centered up, which we are, and we're going to load up FS Economy. First, we've got to make sure when you first load this plane up, get rid of the yoke, turn the pitot heat on, and this is always set to auxiliary, so you got to put this on the main tanks, okay? And then we're going to go in here and load up FS Economy. You guys can't see this, but I'm turning on FS Economy, FS Economy, and logged in and start the flight. I loaded to my first 10 assignments. Let me just look there and make sure that's okay. Just double check on the website. Yep, I got them all en route. And Got 17 souls aboard. We're ready to fly. All right, so let's see. Our gas looks good. Get our rudder pedals set to go. We're going to put the autopilot on nav. We got our prop in, our mixture in. Let's rev her up and get ready to go. You got to be careful on the torque. You don't want to go above 35. Otherwise, you will blow the engines on this Carenado B1900D. So right about there, we'll release the brakes, and we are good to go here. Coming up to speed, 120 knots, and rotate. All right, we're up and away. Wheels up, flaps up. We don't need to fly too high. I'll probably bring it up to 2,800 feet. As we make our turn to pick up the GPS vector. And looking pretty good. Good altitude. Autopilot on.
Autopilot on.
All right, we got our autopilot. And so now we'll pick up the GPS tract, bring it up to 2,800, and then we'll level off and get our way into our first stop. Oh, what happened there? Somehow the nav got turned on. That was weird. What happened? I thought I had nav turned on there. I guess I didn't, so I need to... Let me get the autopilot off here. I want to bring this back to where it should be, and then I'll turn the autopilot on again. Little pilot error there. This is going to be a quick one. Autopilot on?
Autopilot on.
Okay, there we go. I don't understand, why is it going that way? Why does it want to go that way? It doesn't make any sense to me. All right, let's just see here. Let me just see something here. I think something's wrong. Yeah, I should be heading to that vector, right? I don't understand it. Let me go to this. I want to go here. Menu, activate leg. Autopilot on.
Autopilot on.
And it keeps turning me the other way. Alright, I don't understand it. Guess we'll have to hand fly it. Well, we could put it on the heading. Let's get our heading there. I don't understand why it didn't pick it up. try this one more time. Autopilot on.
Autopilot on.
Alright. Now it seems to be picking it up. That was strange. 530 acting up. Not sure if that's me or it. But anyway, that was kind of strange. Alright, let's bring our prop back a little bit. We're going to bring our mixture back a little bit. And we'll bring the throttle back a little bit down to at 89%. And like I said, we got a pretty quick ride here. 66 nautical miles left to get where we're going. Okay, not great frame rates, but there's a lot of gen here. So I was flying in Aerofly FS2 today because I actually haven't really used it a lot since I got the 1080 Ti, and I got to tell you, man, it was pretty amazing. I was getting frame rates from 45 to 80 frames per second, and ultra on Aerosphere with the 1080 Ti. And I actually did a video that's going to post. I'll post sometime this week that'll just show you the metrics of that. But it was really, really impressive. A very unbelievably smooth flight experience. And if you've tried Aerofly FS2 in VR, the graphics are amazing. I mean, they're crisp and clear. Actually a lot better than X-Plane 11 in the cockpit. Less fuzzy. And again, that's what this is with FlyInside, and that's native. So, but I was very, very impressed with Aerofly FS2 VR with the 1080 Ti. Pretty amazing. So I'll be posting that fairly soon. Now we're drifting off course. Why are we drifting off course? Why is that? Why isn't it holding? Why is it doing that? I don't understand why it's doing that. I'm actually using the yoke here now. You know what I'm going to do is I'm going to set. I'm going to take this nav off. And I'm just going to set the heading bug, and we'll just fly by the heading bug. This was happening before where the 530 was acting up on me earlier today. Or sorry, yesterday. Set heading bug to 108.
Heading bug set to 118 degrees.
Set heading bug to 108.
Heading bug set to 108 degrees.
Alright, let's go heading. Alright, that'll get us there. In any event, so yeah, so that video coming up. I also got a video coming up on how to delete preferences. I get that question a lot. X-Plane 11, from time to time you have to delete preferences, and there's a couple things you want to do to save your keyboard settings and your joystick settings and stuff. So some of us know how to do that, some of us don't, so I did a video on it, and should be coming, actually tomorrow I think that I'll be posting. So two things coming up there, some tutorials, which as you guys know I like to do, help people out. So also wanted to talk about the fight yesterday. What was it, Saturday night? Pretty amazing fight. I watched it and I thought Colin McGregor fought really well. Well, I shouldn't say well. He did a good. He stayed in there the first 3 rounds. I did a lot of rabbit punching. You could see the MMA coming out of him. You know, he just really couldn't contain the rabbit punches and some of the tactics that he was using. Did very well. 4th round, things started to change. You could see it. You could see that Mayweather had him kind of figured out, was starting to really figure him out. And on the 5th round, everything changed. So 1 through 3, McGregor was the aggressor. The 5th round, it swapped. Floyd became the aggressor and really started to land some pretty good shots, taking advantage of some, some mistakes that Colin McGregor was making. And you could see from that point on him gaining more and more momentum. 6th to 7th round, he was really going after him. McGregor really kind of lost his effectiveness. I didn't see him land anything damaging after the 3rd round, really, maybe the 4th round. And I think Mayweather just took him apart. Could he go on a little bit longer? I think he probably could. I don't think he would have won. I think he was losing his stamina, and it's a different game. And he even said in the post-fight, he was saying that it's a cleaner sport. He was having a hard time describing it, but I think he used the word clean, and it is. It's an exacting, articulate sport where you have to use. There's pretty strict rules. And you have to, take your opponent apart piece by piece over time. And the strategy is a long-term strategy over an hour. But still, you think about it, it's over an hour of fighting, and you've just, it's the strategy involved is tremendous. So in any event, it was really entertaining to watch. What was really cool was that both guys were really good sports. Right at the end of the fight, you could see them. They had a lot of respect for each other, and in the post-fight press conference, a lot of respect for each other. So that was good to see. That was very good to see. Okay, so it's a fun fight. All right, so I want to try this nav one more time here. See what happens. Oh, I know why. I didn't have the CDI on. Duh. I didn't have the CDI on GPS. Duh. Pilot error. Pilot error. All right, now it's making sense. Okay. All right, I'm going to just set my autopilot here so that so we can descend. And now what you're viewing is you're viewing the Oculus Rift mirror. That's why you don't see the commands that I'm doing in X-Plane. X-Plane 11 doesn't have a there's no way to, well, there's no solid mirroring of X-Plane 11 in VR. FlyInside has mirroring, but it's it's a stereoscopic mirroring, and X-Plane has mirroring, but it's like a box and it doesn't look good at all. So I chose to use this so you can see better. Now hopefully in native VR that'll be a little bit better, but and we've got to wait a little while for that to come from X-Plane. All right, I think we're a little high here. I'm gonna just start to descend a little bit here. Take a look at the plane from the outside. You guys can see. Looking nice, the B1900D. We're going to work on my own livery. This plane is hard to paint because it's in sections. The way that they have it set up is the front of the fuselage is one section, and there's a midsection over the plane, and then there's a tail section. So if you wanted to do like sweeping graphics, you've got to line it all up, and it's a pain in the neck. So I'm not the greatest at doing liveries. I was actually hoping to find someone that might want to do one for me. I'll actually even pay someone to do it. So if you know somebody that's really good at X-Plane 11 liveries and they have the B1900D from Carenado and they're interested in doing a livery, tell them to contact me. Here's a close-up of the plane. Very nice. All right, so we're coming down to 2400. Yankees lost tonight, which was a bummer. I know a lot of you guys don't care about the Yankees, but I care about the Yankees. And Cleveland's not easy. They're a pretty good team, so it's going to be tough. This is going to be tough for the Yankees to get into the postseason, unfortunately. But what can you do? All right. I think that's good for now. Let's level off here. Yeah, so that was totally pilot error. I didn't have the CDI set. I guess in my haste to get things cooking, forgot to set that. I thought I did, but I guess I didn't. So one of the things I did, I think it was yesterday, is I loaded up X-Plane 11 and I put the B1900D at Houston International Airport, and I flew east, like northeast, into the storm. I just wanted to see what it was like, and I was using X-Plane 11 native real-world weather. It was pretty interesting. I mean, the weather, it wasn't that good. I mean, it didn't have the right winds and stuff, but it was, cloudy. It was like raining, and there's lightning and major overcast, and the radars on the B1900D were firing off and showing the colors. But one thing that did happen was the radar stopped working halfway through the flight, so I think there's an issue with that. And again, X-Plane 11's weather, the winds, they did not have the winds correct. But I was going to post the video because I did it on Twitch, and I was going to post the video on YouTube, and I decided not to because I don't know. I don't think it really would bother people, but it bothers me because there's so much suffering going on down there right now in Houston area and southern Texas from that storm that I just don't want to post a video on YouTube that sort of, not capitalizes, but, I don't know. it just doesn't give me a good feeling, so I'm going to delete it. And, well, maybe I'll keep it for myself just to watch it, but because it was kind of interesting. But I'm probably not gonna publish it. So, but any event, yeah. So that was pretty cool. And the day before that, I tried flying the C-172 with the reality expansion pack from Corpus Christi into the hurricane, and that thing was blowing it was like flying a washing machine. It was blowing all over the place. I managed to get it up in the air by taking off into the wind. I literally hit the throttle and rolled like 30 feet, and the plane was up. And trying to keep it steady, using like full right rudder, and it was pretty interesting flying that way. But and I was able to land it. I was able to land the plane, and in that case, the winds were right. So I don't know. Maybe there's just a glitch in the weather the other day, the second time I tried it, but that was interesting, and it was one of the few times I've gotten nauseous in VR, just because the plane was just getting whipped around like real quick, and there were so many quick movements and up and down, and it got to my stomach, and it took me about 45 minutes before I could really I felt better. So anyway, so that was kind of, oh, am I still going down here? No. That was kind of interesting. The reality expansion pack. All right, so we're coming up to our turn here into our first stop. Maxton. I guess this is in North Carolina. Again, hopefully we can turn 20 grand, and I think that'll probably put me over 600,000 in my account in FSE. So I'm still deciding what the hell I'm going to buy. I'm going to buy a big plane. I think I might buy one of these, a B1900D, and put it in the right spot. Not sure. Either that or a King Air C90. I want something with a lot of seats, so that I can charge, high rent on it, and if I use it myself, saving that money. When you think about it, when you rent a plane, you really, especially a big plane, you're saving the rent, right? So if you're flying it for an hour, you're saving $900. How long does it take you to recoup your money if you buy like $1 million plane, right? So you're buying that plane for people to rent it out and use it. If you're really trying to, make money, make a virtual money in FSEconomy. So the trick is putting it in the right spot. Now there's not a lot of 1900Ds in the game, so that's a good thing. But we'll have to see where I'm going to put it. Alrighty, so coming up to our turn here. Yeah, I was pretty amazed by that Aerofly. Now there's a new update coming out for it. If only they had true navigation, and they had hooks into FSEconomy and Pilot Edge or VATSIM. If they had that type of capability, it would be, I think it would be wider used, because right now it's sort of like FSW, where you sort of create your flight plan in the game and then you fly that plan. Whereas in X-Plane 11, you can use outside applications to create a flight plan or a route, load it up into the GPS and fly that route. You can't really do that in in Aerofly, or you can't do it. Certainly can't do it in FSW. So it's sort of lacking that real world integration. I think that's really what it is, right? Having the real world, and I think that's what separates it from being a true flight sim to being more of a flight sim game, right? So a flight sim game would be, you're in the game, you use their navigation system, you use their all that stuff within the game. But in a flight sim like X-Plane 11, I can use real world navigation. I can integrate ForeFlight with it. I'm using Flight Plan Go. I'm using, I'm creating flight plans with SkyVector, downloading them, converting them, and uploading them to the GPS. So, or I can integrate real world weather if I want to. So I think those kind of things are, at least for me, they're major differentiators, All right, where are we now? Let's just check out our runway here. Okay, we're completely not lined up. Well, that's not how it was supposed to be. Alright, so time to hand fly. Slow the plane down, gear down, flaps to 1. Taking the plane. Good on gas. Alright, we got the mixture in, prop in. We got our airfield in sight. Oh, wow. X-plane just really slowed down there. Really slowed down. It's like a snail's crawl. Okay, well, I guess there must be a lot of autogen here. That's one thing about Aerofly, man. It was like smooth as silk. I'm probably going to stream it soon, just to show you guys, because it was really, really, really impressive. That thing's massive, by the way. I think it takes up like 120 gig. Right, there's our airfield right there. I'm going to slow it down one more. We'll have to make our turn, our final. We're a little close here. Kind of making like a Cessna turn, but that's all right. I should be able to put it down. Yeah, I guess the sky vector wasn't correct on the way that runway, or it's just not lined up properly in X-plane. Because I like to use the GPX vectors that line me up, you know. And in this case, it wasn't. So, all right, we're looking good. We got to get down here, though. We're at 1,100 feet. Flaps full, gear down, 3 green. We're a little fast, 150 knots. We're going to have to slow down here. I think we could do it. I think we got it. Let me go right rudder. 500. Left rudder. Not the greatest approach, but we'll get down, which is what we want. And hopefully the next one won't be miscalculated. Trim up. All right, we're 100 knots. All right. Ooh, that was tough. That was a rough. That was kind of a slam. All right, let's we'll turn her around here, and I'm gonna activate. I'll activate that vector before we take off. So our flight plan is in sync. Clear the runway. Flaps to 1. One thing I don't like about this plane, it does not have realistic flaps. Like the sound of the flaps, like you don't hear the flaps, the flap motors going when you change them. Like, look, I'm going to put it to the second one now. It goes slow, but you don't hear it. Now maybe I need to turn the external up more, but it's kind of disappointing. All right, we're pretty good on gas. I'm probably going to just top it off to 300 gallons again. Doesn't hurt to have the gas. All right. Now you got to stop the plane in order to stop FSEconomy, which kind of sucks, but I just want to make sure nothing's smoking outside. Oh, that doesn't look good. Set parking brake.
Brakes set.
That doesn't look good. Why are those engines smoking like that? It's weird. All right, well, let me shut this down. Hit FSEconomy. Okay, so I just want to check and see if it's still smoking. No, yeah, we're good. Okay, I think we're good. No, they're smoking. There's something wrong with those engines. All right, I'm gonna have to reset here. So let me go to where are we? We're at MEB. So let me go to flight configuration. Go to customize. Let's do failures. I'm pretty sure that's how you fix the failures. Fix all systems. Done. Apply changes. Let's see if we're still smoking. Yup. Okay, that's not good. Alright, so let's go to flight configuration. Change location. We're going to go to KMEB, Laurenburg Maxon, and we're going to take off, start new flight. Set parking brake.
Brakes set.
We're still smoking. Why? Why are we smoking? Alright, I think I'm going to have to restart X-Plane. It sucks, but I'm going to have to restart X-Plane. Don't know why it was still smoking. Alright, let's get this thing started. Hopefully it won't take too long to load. I have no idea why. Well, I hit the ground pretty hard when I landed. Maybe that was it. But you would think that, I guess it doesn't react to when you fix all systems, right? So we're going to go there. Let's do failures. Let's just do it again. Hopefully this will fix all systems. Done. Okay, we're going to go to here. Take off from there. Confirm. Start new flight. And it's going to take a little bit now to load this up. We'll make sure our GPS is correct. And we got 19 souls on board, so I'm going to refuel to 325 because we'll burn it. We'll use it all. So, We got three. I just put, you guys didn't see that, but I just put in 325. 19 souls on board to make our next stop. We've made 3,700 so far in the first stop, which is good. Now I have SSDs, and this thing takes forever to load. Forever to load. I feel like playing the while it's loading up. I have no idea why it was smoking. I guess I hammered it when I landed because I did it pretty hard. But I don't. I have to check the menus again on the Carenado. I don't think it has a way to fix all systems. The other thing is, when it first loads up, the plane is like higher than the ground, and it like hits the ground or something. It's weird. You'll see it happen here. Watch. See that? Set parking brake. Set parking brake. Set parking brake.
Brake set.
All right. So now I gotta lower the volume. Okay. I'm looking at the menus for Carenado. It does not have any. Does not have. It does not have any way to fix the plane in its own menu system. So now let's make sure things aren't smoking now. Now I'm smoking again. Why is it smoking? I don't know. Well, I'm just going to take off. If I crash, I crash. I don't understand it. All right, let me show you what I'm doing here. All right, flight plan, cursor, we don't need this. We don't need route flow. Don't need MEB. Okay, good to go. Oh, come on, man. Let's go. I'm gonna have to. Let me do this. Menu. Delete flight plan. Get rid of this. Scroll. Get the cursor into the flight plan. Okay. Go to flight plan. Scroll. Go down to here. Menu. Activate leg. There we go. All right. Should be good to go. CDI on GPS. That was our problem last time. And FSEconomy. We got all our departing. 19 souls on board. We got 325 gallons of gas. We are good to go. All right. We load up FSEconomy. Flight is loaded. Now you got to make sure when you first start this plane up that you always put the fuel on the main. Get your heat on, yoke's done. And we should be good to go, provided that the engines aren't firing up. Let's just look at this again. See, they're smoking. I mean, it's not black smoke. But they are. It's like they're burning oil or something. I don't know. Everything looks good, so I'm gonna give it a shot here. Release parking brake.
Brakes released.
Go, flaps to 1. Coming up to speed, 120 knots, and rotate. Got a heavy load. Gear up, flaps up. Autopilot on.
Autopilot on.
Let's just check and see if we're smoking. Nope. It's got something to do with on the ground. It almost looks like when you're in wet weather, you get that like condensation kicking up behind the props, prop wash condensation. Because I mean now, if I look at the plane, there's no smoke. So, not sure. But in any event, let's get her up to altitude. I don't think we have to worry too much about any high points here. Let's just look here. On the chart, upper right, upper left hand. Yeah, we're all like 500 feet, 300 feet, 300 feet. Elevation of the airport is 101, so I think we'll be fine at like 2200. I think we won't fly too high. It's a temperamental plane, but in any event, back on the prop a little bit. It's a little longer leg. Frames per second. I guess it's because there's a lot of trees and stuff, so that all is all autogen, I guess, you know. Just bogs down. This plane, you know, third-party plane just bogs things down. All right, getting up to 19. I think we could actually settle at 2,000 and be perfectly safe. We'll go to 22 just to be really safe. All right, 22, level off. There we go. Oh, I gotta turn that window off. That's the X-plane window so you can see what I'm doing. Okay. So what to buy when I get the money? Yeah, I'm not sure. I think I want to get a 300D, but I've been thinking about buying a Seminole for like 300 grand. It's only a 4-seater, or I can buy a Seneca, which is a 6-seater. So you can have 5 passengers. That's, you know, not a bad money maker. But you know, I think you want to buy the planes that are most popular. You know, my Cessna so far has been a bust. Like no one rents that thing. So maybe it's in San Diego. So I guess, you know, no one flies around San Diego. But there's so many Cessnas in the game that, you know, it's kind of hard to do that. And I really bought that for more like for Pilot Edge stuff, but I may sell it. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. All right, let's go outside. Let's throttle back here a little bit, get the fuel flow down. And go outside. The beautiful back country of North Carolina. This is the standard, actually this is the HD mesh scenery, because I downloaded all that from AIpilots.net or whatever it is. So this is basically all of that. I did that for all of North America. And I think South America as well, as a base. And it looks pretty good. Now, in the some places in the Northeast and in Pilot Edge, I'm using Ortho4XP for better. I mean, California scenery in my system looks amazing. Some places it looks kind of crappy, but most places it looks amazing. That bell you heard there was a subscriber on YouTube. So someone just subscribed to my YouTube channel. In any event, yeah, you can check that out, Bambino Games on YouTube. And if you're watching this on YouTube, be sure to go over to my Twitch channel. There's a link in the description of this video. Click on that link and follow me on Twitch. I'm trying to build up some folks on Twitch that are interested in sim flying and VR and stuff like that. I'll be playing some different games on there. But yeah, so if you are interested, check me out on Twitch and give me a follow. I'd appreciate it. It's weird here. I'm actually sitting outside the plane, watching the plane fly as the scenery goes by. It's pretty cool. I can look down like this, and it's like I'm I'm floating above the world, like that Talking Heads song. Pretty cool. All right, back inside. Everything looking nominal. I tell you one thing, I definitely have gotten my money's worth out of this plane. I can't, I mean, I wish it had an hour meter on it, because I put in a lot of hours on this plane in FS Economy. So yeah, I think I'm going to start using the weather, even though it's just X-Plane 11 weather. I think I'm going to start using the weather because it just makes things a little more interesting. Just sitting back, enjoying the scenery, checking out the cockpit, electrical panel up there, aviation and communication over there, major instrumentation right there. I'm glad this plane has a 530. One of my beefs with Carenado planes is they put 430s in everything. They're coming out with they came out with a Caravan, it's got a 430 in it. It's nice having the map, and it's nice having the bigger screen on the 530. They're coming out with I saw a post today on Facebook. They're coming out with a King Air C90. It's got a 430 in it. Why? Why does it have a 430 in it? Put a 530 in it. The X-Plane 11 native C90 has a 530 in it. I just don't understand why they use the 430 instead of the 530. It's like in the Seneca, they have a 430 and they have that map, which doesn't really work very well. But I mean, at least they have a map so you can see the vectors. But still, you're dealing with a 430, so it's only a few lines. It's kind of a pain in the neck, you know. Put a 530. Just make 530 the standard. 430 is like an older GPS for X-Plane, right? Wasn't it the first GPS that X-Plane had, and they came out with the 530? Why are you putting the 430 in new planes? Doesn't make any sense to me. Maybe I'm missing something. But it seems to me like you'd want to put the bigger screen in the plane, right? Getting some stuttering. That's the one thing I noticed when I was playing with Aerofly FS2 today. My God, there was like zero stuttering. Maybe once in a while, a little bit, but it was smooth as silk. 45, again, 45, between 40 and 80 frames per second. Most of the time it was around 45 to 50 frames per second. That's with the 1080 Ti, all settings ultra. Pretty amazing. Pretty amazing. And it doesn't have an anti-aliasing setting, and the there really wasn't that much aliasing issues at all. Weren't that many aliasing issues at all. Maybe a few little shimmers here and there, but nothing major. Those guys have their act together as far as their graphics go. You know, the only thing is it does look very still. There's no animation or that kind of thing, but the buildings, like as you fly through New York, the buildings are so real looking, like the Empire State Building and the Freedom Tower, the Verrazano Bridge. They just look so real. They really did a nice job with them. Now there's some buildings like in wrong places, like there's a building in the river in one place, and you know, there's like 3 buildings in front of the George Washington Bridge right on the road. So they have some errors they've got to correct, but all in all, it's pretty impressive. It's just too bad that they don't have the navigation, the real world, navigation capabilities, because that, to me, that just makes it fun to fly, but it doesn't make it really realistic. The other thing I want to try and aerofly is the glider. They have a couple of gliders, and I have a feeling that would be pretty awesome. So I'm actually going to try that in the next couple of days and see what that's like. I am getting into gliding more and more, learning about it. There's a lot to learn about riding thermals and how to do that, how to get the most energy out of the plane. And you know, I feel like a couple of times I've done it, I've learned how to like connect with the plane and, you know, shimmy the most out of it. So but it's really enjoyable to keep that plane up so long. Like there was one flight I think I was flying for like almost an hour, back and forth, spiraling up to like 6,000 or 7,000 feet, and then flying across the valley. Was it Warner Valley, I think it is, in California was where I was flying. So it was really cool. What a cool experience, you know. So I'm going to try that in Aerofly and see what it's like in VR. Should be cool. So now here's the thing about this plane. Like, so right now I'm getting 20 frames per second. 21. First number is the plane. Second number is the VR headset or X-plane. So now if I turn on the lights, the panel lights, I gotta do this. If I turn on the panel lights, pretty sure the frame rates will go down. Watch. 19, 18, sometimes down to 16, 17. So it's actually eating up frames because I turn the lights on. Turn the lights off, back up to 20. Little trick with this plane, I'm not sure about other Carenado planes, but with this plane, panel lights eat up about 3 or 4 frames per second. Kind of odd. Now I'm sure there's a programmer's explanation for that. I'm not a game designer, not a sim designer, but you know, I guess they've got a light that's a different color or whatever, so I guess it makes sense that it would take up more frames, but it's still kind of annoying. All right, moving at a pretty good clip. 37 miles to go to our turn into our second stop. Hopefully we won't have any glitches. No warnings on the panel, so everything's looking good. So a couple of videos. I posted a video, 2 videos last week that I think people can get a lot out of. The first one was the SimCoder's reality expansion pack for the C172. A lot of people were having problems starting the engine cold start. They were flooding the engine, doing the normal, like a normal real-world Cessna 172 starter procedure. And unfortunately, that starter procedure doesn't work. You've got, and in fact, I think actually the one in their manual doesn't work. If you look at the video that I posted, it shows you how to start it. Now, that's not the way it's supposed to be done, and I would bet that SimCoders is working on fixing that. So for version 1, that video is going to be relevant. So I actually said that in the video that it was this procedure for version 1. So that's one video you want to check out if you've got that reality pack and you're struggling with starting the engine up. The second video I did was a tutorial on how to set up Flight Plan Go, the app, the iPad app that you see in the upper left-hand corner, and you see right here on my iPad. Let me take it off here and show you. Flight Plan Go. Okay, so this is a really cool. It's a free application. Get it on the iTunes store. They have a website that a web-based system that you can use as well. But I just basically, for the most part, use the iPad app. And some people were having problems integrating that. So in this video, I show you step by step, real simple, how to do it, how to integrate that with X-Plane 11 and get that working. And so you can have a moving map, and you can have the charts like I have, and there's a bunch of others. You can have all your sectional charts. You can have your airport charts right at your fingertips if you've got an iPad. And actually, it works on the iPhone as well. I'll show you that. I've got it running on my iPhone. Hopefully this won't crash the system. So if I go here and I go to map, you can see right there, I've got that running on my iPhone as well. So it's pretty cool. So I was thinking about mounting this right here, getting a mount, so I could have it right here for redundancy or whatever, but I don't know, we'll see. Anyway, so yeah, so you can have two things running at the same time. You know, I'm not sure why you'd want to do that, but if you wanted to do that, you could do that. But yeah, so check out that video if you want to know how to set up Flight Plan Go. Again, it's a free app, unlike Forefront. Now I know is it called ForeFlight? I know it's got a lot of features. Okay, it's also $100 a year to use it, and I was actually thinking about using it, buying it, but I spent enough money on flight sim stuff, so I figured for my purposes, Flight Plan Go works just fine. I mean, if Forefront has the ability to allow me to enter routes and then upload them into the GPS, I'd buy it in a second, because then I could do that on the iPad. It'd be really cool. And I could save a step, but I don't think it does that. Flight Plan Go provides all the functionality that I need for free. So check it out. You might want to, if you've got an iPad using X-Plane 11, main thing is your iPad's got to be on the same Wi-Fi network as X-Plane 11 that you're running for it to work. That's one of the issues that some people have, so make sure you do that. And then follow the video that I put together, and it will help you set it up. So hope that's helpful. All right. Got a couple people watching. Say hello in the chat. If you have any questions about VR or X-Plane, I'll try to answer them for you. I won't pretend to be a complete X-Plane expert, but I know enough about it. And VR, I've been involved with for quite some time, so I can answer some questions about that. One of the biggest questions I get is, should I invest in VR now or wait for the next generation? So that's kind of like a question that comes up about just about any technology, right? It's like, should I invest in this CPU or should I wait for the next generation? Should I invest in this GPU or should I wait for the next generation? So, the answer is simple. If you want it now and you want to play with it now, buy it now. VR right now, the Vive and Rift, it's really second generation VR. CV or the DK being the first generation from Oculus, but now we're in second generation. It's gotten to the point where it's plug and play as far as installation, which is really good. It's got some pretty amazing games. The graphics are tolerable. Now, there's two types of people that experience VR. There's the people that go in it and say, oh my god, it's so fuzzy, I can't stand the screen door effect, I can never handle this. Okay, that's your opinion. Or there's people who go into VR and say, my god, this is an amazing experience. So what if it's got some screen door and the graphics are a little fuzzy? It's amazing just having the immersion of 3D. I happen to be the latter, but not everybody is. So if you want to experience the immersion now, $400 gets you an Oculus Rift. I still think Oculus is the better buy, and mainly that's because of their support is a major reason. This is my second Rift, and I had to return my first one because it had some issues, and I got a new one, no questions asked, and they shipped it without a credit card. It was here in a couple of days. I had a great experience with the Oculus support team. I've heard nightmares about the HTC support team. People waiting weeks to hear from them, and not getting, exchanges being a major issue. And so to me, when you buy a technology, especially a technology that's on the forefront, you want to make sure that it's backed by a company that's going to support it. So for that reason alone, I would say lean towards the Rift, right? Because really there's not much difference in the display. Some people will say that Vive is a little clearer and it's got a little better field of view, but if you look at the specs, the field of view is the same. So I'm not sure what people are smoking when they say that. But I've tried them both, and to me, I think the Rift is a lot more comfortable. It's a single wire versus multiple wires. It's easy. It doesn't have all these connection boxes. Now I know the Lighthouse system for room scale is better, I think, than Oculus, but that's another issue. But in any event, to answer the question, should you buy now or wait? If you say I want to wait for the next generation, you could be waiting 18 months, maybe longer. Okay, and meanwhile you're sitting around with no VR. You're not experiencing it at all. So I'm going to make my turn here. I'm going to be landing here soon. So I say spend the $400, provided that you have a PC that can support it. Get into it now and enjoy it now. And then when it improves, it's going to even be that much better. That's the way I look at it. We're lined up perfectly. That's what we want. Beautiful. All right, so what are we? 10 miles out. So we got a little time here. We're 2,200 feet above. Plenty of gas. Going to finish our second leg here, and then we'll head off back to Charlotte and complete our mission for the day, our work for the day, and hopefully make about 20 grand. That is a nice thing about this larger plane. 19 passengers. You can make a nice amount of money if you get the right routes. And I like to do these triangle routes. They take about an hour, maybe hour and a half, and you can make some good money to do them right. All right, so let's get the flaps down. We're going to take it off autopilot. All right, mixture in, prop in. We don't have our gear down yet. Kind of a narrow runway. I feel like I'm sitting up high here. All right, 1800. Flaps to 2. You can hear that XP realistic sound of the wind hitting the flaps. Pretty cool. Pretty cool. All right. So check something there. Okay, wheels down. You hear the extra wind from the wheels. 3 green. 140 knots. Good approach. Trim it up a little bit. Oh, let me turn this off here. Okay. Nice rate of descent. We're coming to 600 feet. What we'll do is go all the way down to the end of that runway, turn around, and then we'll be heading the other way. Or actually, I can take that other runway. All right, let's one step at a time. Let's get the plane down before we're thinking about taking off. All right, I think we're a little high here. 120 knots. Gear is down. Flaps are down. We're good to go. Nose up a little bit. Flaps to 1. We'll just let it ride out so we don't kill the brakes. See if we got that smoke. Yeah, look at that. See, it's the wheels. It's like the wheels. Like the brakes are locked or something. They're not. Brakes off.
Brakes already released.
See? No. I could probably just turn around here. Might go on the grass a little bit, but it's okay. We'll cool the brakes off with nice, cool grass. Get ourselves lined up. All right, good to go, and stop. Parking brake on.
Brakes set.
Good. All right, so let's see here. We're going to, okay, engines off. FSEconomy off, engines back on. Let's see how we're doing as far as FSEconomy goes. All right, so far, my flight, we got, all right, here's what we got going to, we got 19 passengers going to Charlotte. We've already made, where's the banking? Log. What do we make so far? 7,500? Yeah, 7,500. Okay, so next flight is another 13. So hopefully, probably clear about 18,000. Got 232 gallons. So let's just see what we got here. 19 aboard. Going, let's call it 150. 79 gallons. And I'm just going to top it off because I'm going to use this plane again. So it's not. Let's just go to 300. Because you never know. Okay. 300. And let's load up FSEconomy is loaded. Just double check that. We are en route. Okay. Say hello in the chat, guys, if you like. All right, so got our gas, plenty of gas, and GPS is solid. We got flaps to 1, and we are ready to go. So let's rev her up. Release brake.
Brakes released.
Okay. Little left rudder. Keep it right on the center line as best I can. Hear that wind starting to hit the flaps. Right to the money here and rotate. Running heavy here. We're in the air. Okay, gear up. Flaps up. And we're going to put this on vertical. Actually, I don't need that on vertical. I'll just bring it up myself. We'll hand fly it up to 2300 and then on our way back to Charlotte. I'll show you guys the back of the plane here in a second. All right. 1,800 feet. $2,000 leveling off. $2,200. Autopilot on.
Autopilot on.
Gotta love that plane command. So good. Whoa. It's got me going to 800. I don't want to do that. That was a mistake. That was a mistake. Okay. You can't hit that altimeter button until you get to the level you want to be at. So I'm at 21. I'm going to hit altimeter. Goes to 21. Autopilot on.
Autopilot on.
Now we should be good. She'll tilt and then she'll pick up the vector and then we'll be good to go. Alright, so we can bring our lean back a little bit, bring our prop back a little bit, and bring our throttle back just to reduce our fuel flow and the pressure on the system. And we are good to go. So we're making our nice little triangle. Yeah, so I got to get on Pilot Edge and do my Cat 5. I've been haven't had a lot of time to do it. Haven't flown on Pilot Edge much in the last couple of weeks, and that's not good. You got to keep those skills up, you know. You got to keep those your pattern skills and all that stuff up. I think what I'm going to try to do is I'm going to try to dedicate at least once a week, twice a week, to be on Pilot Edge. So I can, you know, make sure I'm keeping my my skills up. Important, you know. Really important. Alrighty. Let's check outside here. B1900D. Oh, look at that. You can see the cables. I don't know if you guys can see that, but I could see the cables going to the, it's like cables outside there. That's weird. I don't know if you guys see those cables. I guess those are rudder cables? Maybe it's an antenna. I don't know. It's weird. Up close and personal. The emergency exits. As you get closer, it doesn't look very 3D, but right here it looks really 3D. It looks 2D to you, but you know, in VR, it looks like I'm a bird flying next to a plane. That's what I feel like. It's like flapping my wings. Put the gear down just so you can see it. There's the gear. See that? Pretty cool. All right, back of the cockpit. How are we doing here? I think I'm going to change the time here, and I'm going to make this a Dusk Landing. Let's do that. Let's do that. Let's go to flight config, and I'm going to change the time. To like 6:30. There you go. We'll have a little dusk landing. Now I'm gonna need those cabin lights now, which sucks because my frame rates are gonna go down. I guess I can lower the lights. Pilot. That's better. Let's see what our frame rates are. 20, that's good. Alright, so this should be kind of fun. Well, let me show you the back here. Get to the middle of the plane and then fly inside. And now has the ability to turn around. And I can open these doors, and there's the back with all the cabin lights on. Pretty cool. Every light in the cabin is on. Nice, huh? Let's think about putting Bambino games on the seat backs. Make kind of cool. Once I build my livery. That's the back of the plane there. Oops. Alrighty. So it looks like outside. Ooh, looking nice. This is one of the nicest times to fly an X-plane, this dusk period where you got the sunset like that. Look at that. Ooh, that looks cool. Looks really cool. Sweet. This is odd. So, like, I'm in front of the plane. Shouldn't I not hear anything? Like, shouldn't I hear it in back of the plane louder? Like, it should be louder back here, right? I don't know. That looks cool right there. I'm actually going to see if I can capture this while we're flying here. Pretty cool. I'm just getting some shots here. Nighttime flying, X-Plane 11. Still got a ways to go. Looks awesome though. Let's get one more shot here. Alright, halfway to Charlotte. Only 62 more miles to go. Making good time. Getting decent frame rates. Well, 20 is better than... As long as you're hitting 20, then time is moving correctly in the sim. When you go behind 20, less than 20 frames per second, you're moving slower than time in the sim. Everything slows down. It's not good. It's not good. Let's go outside here. I tell you what though, man, Carenado does make a beautiful plane. The detail, the shine, the shimmer, the reflections are all spot on. They really are. There's a little stutter going from scenery to scenery. Oops. So I think release 11.05 should be coming out soon. If you read the developer's blog, it's got like a ton of new airports, 3D airports that are going to be added to the default scenery, which is good, plus some additional frame rate improvements and optimizations and stuff. So it's all good news leading up to 11.1. I'm pretty sure 11.1, I think that's going to be the VR release that's coming in the fall. Not quite sure if that's in there, but they're talking about the VR, native VR coming out in the fall. So I'm assuming that's going to be in November timeframe, somewhere around there. Only a couple months away. I'm sure they're working feverishly on it to get it completed. And can't wait for that. It's going to have like teleporting so you can walk around the plane and stuff like that, which is pretty damn cool. So looking forward to that. But yeah, 11.1 and 11.01, 11.02 definitely saw, at least in my case, I saw frame improvements, performance improvements, and hopefully 5 and 1.0 will, or 11.1, sorry, will show the same. 11.05 and 11.1. I want to get the release dates correct. Hopefully they'll show some more optimization. All leading up to what Laminar said they'll be doing in 2018, which is converting the system over to Vulkan from OpenGL. And the speculation and discussion is once that happens, you start to really take advantage of the higher end graphics cards like the 1080 Ti and all of the cores rather than a single core. It's just a much better platform. So OpenGL is pretty old, and I think that you're going to see some major improvements when that happens. Now, I think FlyInside, they're developing their own sim. I would guess that they're developing it on Vulkan. It'd be pretty silly not to. And their sim's supposed to come out in November, or by the end of the year. Maybe they said the fall or by the end of the year. I can't remember, but it's supposed to come out in 2017. Be interesting to see what they come out with. Certainly, they've done a great job getting us into X-Plane VR with FlyInside, and hopefully, and they've improved that over the year that it's been out, and hopefully they'll be doing the same thing with their own flight sim, which out of the box is going to have native VR support. So all that stuff coming down the pipe should be an exciting end of year for flight simulation. And then you got FSW, and they're chugging along. I know they're making improvements in optimization, but still have not heard anything about VR plans for them. The frame rates are, just not there. Although they have improved. I'm not sure if they're there, but it would be really advisable for them to make a statement, or at least a direction on VR, where basically everybody else is doing it, and to put them in the pack of having that. I mean, Aerofly has it. X-Plane's going to have it. So those are their two major competitors. I think FSW should probably put it in. In any event, I know there's a really loyal following of FSW flyers, and I play it from time to time, but it's not something I view it as more of a game type simulator. I know I'm probably going to get oohs and ahs about that, okay? But the reason why I said that is I think I talked about this earlier in this flight. It doesn't have real world navigation. It doesn't have, well, it does have weather now, better weather, I know that. But the real world navigation and connecting it to things like Pilot Edge and FSEconomy, to me, makes it more of an isolated game. And unless they open it up and start to do stuff like that, I think they're going to, they're going to continue to have that kind of like isolation, if you will. Let's go back inside here and see what we're doing inside. All right, everything's looking good. Plenty of gas. Got 30 miles, 8 minutes to our turn into Charlotte. So we are getting close to the end of the road. It's been a long day of flying. Burned a lot of gas, delivered a lot of souls, and now we're heading home. Stars starting to come out. Boy, Levitar should put some shooting stars in the game. That'd be kind of cool. I wonder if that looks like the Big Dipper, man, over there. I wonder if they're real constellations. I wouldn't put it past those guys to have like actual constellations. I wouldn't put it past them. So you could navigate by the stars. That'd be pretty cool. So, yeah, let's go back outside here. So anyway, been a long flight. Do have a few people watching. Everybody's quiet tonight. No one's talking. Say hello in the chat, guys. What'd you think of the fight the other night? The Mayweather Colin McGregor fight. Talked about it earlier. But what did you guys think of it? What's amazing to me is, what did Mayweather make? 140 million or 160 million, something like that, for winning, and I think McGregor got 40 million for losing. So he said in the press conference that the first thing he was going to do is go rent a 100-foot yacht and have a big party. So I think that's probably what I would do too. He's probably on that yacht right now. I think that light way out there in the distance on the horizon is Charlotte. Nighttime plane. Let's see if I can see this from the ground. I have the tower view. Oh yeah, look at that. There it is. See me flying across the sky over there? See the faint lights flashing, flying across the sky. Okay. This is real super bright. I want to lower this a little bit. that's better. It's a slight turn at Marjo, just to get us lined up with the runways, and then and also to let me know when we're at 10, which I could tell anyway on the GPS, but we're 10 miles from the field. So isn't it interesting? The altimeter isn't lit up. Isn't that weird? Everything else is lit up. The altimeter is not lit up. Either is the speed indicator. The compass is lit up. Gyro's lit up. There's a subscriber on YouTube. Ding, 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 ding. These dials are all lit up, but the compass, I mean the airspeed indicator and the altimeter are not. That's not cool. All right. Plenty of gas. We're getting ready to land our final landing. 11 miles to our turn, and then 10 into, probably about 10 into Charlotte. Let's go back out. Let's see if we can see the tower view again. I don't see the plane anywhere. Nope. Pretty dark out here tonight. Zoom in there. That's all. I think that's all Charlotte right there. See again, let's go from the ground again, see if we can see the plane flying across the sky here. Can we see it? I don't see it. Look at those stars, though. We're like in North Carolina somewhere. All right, we are getting close to our turn here. Do we have all our lights on? Let's see. Oh, why is the light panel off? Okay, where's our lights? Taxi lights, landing lights, taxi flood, a tail flood. Let's put the tail flood on. See what that looks like. Let's go to that side and see what that looks like. Ooh, look at that. Look at the tail flood. Nice. That's nice. That's pretty cool. All right, here we go. Here's our turn. And we're just going to go right for that runway right in front of us. $11 miles in. Yeah, it's not cool that these the speed indicator and the altimeter lights are off. Let me just, do I have something? Avionics panel. Oh, there you go. Okay, that was, again, pilot error. I think the instrument lights. Pilot error. But they sure look flat when they're lit up. Okay, let's pay attention to what the hell we're doing here. We're going to land the plane. Alright, flaps to 1. And we are slowing down. We've got 8 miles out. Let's take it off autopilot. Okay, mixture in and prop in. Gear is still up. Outer marker. 7 miles. Okay, flaps full. Oops. Crap. Something just happened there. What happened was the mouse freaked out. Okay, let's get my shit together here. Alright, good. Okay. That was kind of messed up. Gear down. Let's get myself lined up here. .500 feet. Yeah, that wasn't a good time to change the camera view. Alright, gears up, gears down, flaps are full. I need to get my ass lined up with this runway. Comfortable. .140 knots. We're at 300 feet. Making sure everything's good. We got 3 green. We got 3 green. Drifting to the left here. Man, low. Trees. Because the runway disappeared there for a second. Gas up a little bit. Inner marker. Alright, we're good to go. Good speed. Got the runway. Okay, bring her down. Hopefully we'll just do it nice and easy. Oh, that was a bounce. Not a very good landing, but that's okay. Let her run out. Yeah, I got kind of messed up there because my view got screwed up and I had to like fiddle with the mouse to get the right angle. And right now I'm not really looking at it. I'm looking at it like a little bit to the right, so it's not really, I wasn't really comfortable with my angle of view. So, but in any event, we got her down, so that's what's important. All right, so let's stop this puppy. Let's find a taxi, just get off the runway. There we go. I love taxiing with the floodlights like that. It's so cool. Let's see what the... looks like. All right, let's go over here. And you know what? We'll just park it right here. Good at place as any. Set parking brake.
Brakes set.
I think I got that smoke coming. Look at that. See that? What the hell is that? What is that smoke? Oh. What is that smoke? I don't know. All right, in any event. Oh, let me get my... All right, let's power down. And we're going to go... I'm going to kill FSEconomy. Not kill it, but end the flight. Okay. And now let's take you into the world of Chrome. So we can see how we made out. All right, let's see what we got here. Go to log. All right, we made 17,000, 16,900. Not too shabby. The last one we made $9,000 on. That was a full flight, and we probably picked up some bonus money. Yeah, 130. Well, not bad. The bonus isn't too bad on this one, the distance bonus. But you know, we got to pay for ground crew, the booking fee, fuel, okay, and the rental costs. So this is what you would save. Obviously, we own the plane myself, but in any event, so 16K. We go to banking here and we do transfer. $600,000, $2. Very nice. Way to go, man. Way to go. Nice. All right. Well, that's just about going to do it. I appreciate you guys watching. Thank you very much. And it was another fun stream. You see the plane there. You can see that. Get it up close here. See, that's tough to see with the lights. Tough to see. In any event, appreciate you guys watching, and hit the like button if you like what you saw. And don't forget to subscribe to Bambino Games for more X-Plane 11 in virtual reality, streaming, FSEconomy, and all sorts of other stuff. Anyway, I'm tired, guys. Thanks for watching, guys, and have a great evening.